In this video, we're going to make sense of the modes and zero in on one you should definitely get under your fingers as a blues player. You know the major scale, right? In A, we've got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. And each note in that scale has a certain relationship back to the tonic. The tonic is A, the one that we started with. And because of that relationship, because of the spaces in between the notes, you probably recognize that as the major scale the second I played it. Now, if we take that same set of notes from the A major scale and simply start with the second note, B, and view B as the tonic, then we'll have a mode of the major scale. You can certainly build the major scale modes this way, deriving the other 6 modes from the major scale, which, by the way, the major scale and the Ionian mode, those are interchangeable. They're the same thing. And I hinted at this derivative approach in my Rosetta Stone aha moment back in Tuesday Blues number 355. And that approach really makes sense to my brain, so it helps. But my ears didn't quite hear the difference between the 7 major scale modes until I started viewing them as their own separate pattern of spaces between the notes. And you can reinforce that by practicing the modes from the same tonic. So here are the 7 modes played from the same tonic. We're going to stick with A. That's our tonic. That's the root of the scale of the mode. And we're going to do this in kind of a smart order that only changes one note by lowering it a half step as we move through the modes. I think you'll see what I mean. Watch the notes as we play through. Now, practicing this way, holding the tonic constant and moving through the 7 modes really helped me get into the sound of each mode. And it also helped me, because we're practicing it in a certain order, relate each mode to the previous one. For example, Mixolydian is really Ionian, just changing the Ionian major 7th down to the Mixolydian minor 7th. Ionian, Mixolydian. So should we learn all of the modes? Well, maybe. As with anything, your goals and what you want to accomplish certainly matters a whole heck of a lot, and you don't have to learn the modes to become a great guitar player. Certainly not a guitar player that can jam, sit down, and have some fun with friends. But you might find it helpful to use modes to expand your vocabulary on the guitar, and especially if you're into playing lead guitar. But to me, there's one that you should absolutely focus on if you're into playing blues. All right, okay, technically I guess there's 2, because the Ionian mode is the major scale, and that one should be a given. You really should get familiar with that for sure, and if you need a little help, you can check out the major scale masterclass in the BGI Premium Library. But the real mode that you should take for a spin and get under your fingers is the Mixolydian mode. Remember, the Mixolydian mode is the major scale, but with the lowered 7th. And that matches nicely with the fact that in major blues, we play dominant 7th chords all the time. And dominant 7th chord is a major chord with a minor 7th. Mixolydian is a major scale with a minor 7th. You see the parallel here? This makes the Mixolydian scale a great scale to work from over a dominant 7th chord in a blues context. All right, so the big elephant in the room, the minor pentatonic scale, we talk about that all the time in the blues, and ultimately it's a great scale to help you get around the fretboard, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You can do a whole lot with it. That's part of its utility. But if you want to expand your sound a little bit, Mixolydian should definitely be something that you consider. Even in that short lick, you can hear some different tones that aren't available to us if we stick strictly to the minor pentatonic scale. Now let's do a little bit of jamming over an A7 chord using a Mixolydian. Oh man, hear how this brings in some sweet notes, and it really sounds like it jives with the chord. The notes from the chord, the notes from the scale, they really are a perfect match in this case. Now we can take this one step further by switching to the D Mixolydian mode to match the D7 chord when it comes up, and the E Mixolydian mode when E7 comes up in a progression. That's pretty fun, right? And remember, this isn't the only way to jam the blues, but a strategy that can help you find the notes to bring out what you want to say on the instrument. Be sure to click over here and pick the jam tracks up so that you can play along. It's a perfect A Mixolydian study. And if you want to keep learning about the blues, just click or tap right over there, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, practice smart and play on. Oh, and have fun. Thanks, Mike, for that addition.